Okay, part 5. We're gonna basically get in on these vocals and spend about 10 minutes and see what I can get done in 10 minutes. Let's get everything all set up over here, which is boom and boom. Ah, that's better. Ha! And while you're at it, if you could, maybe you know, like and sub, do all that good stuff. But oh, haha, there it is. Wah! Man, I'm getting fancy. Anyway, I'm having fun. Let's dive in on these vocals. All right, 10 minutes. Here we go. Like a topic on a tennis segment in my head. Today I sit far away. But I knew the middle in a place. And if I got torn away, it was and first off, you can see how this is like, looks like 10 vocal tracks, and it doesn't need to be. We can free up a lot of real estate. You can see how these are handoffs, which I'm going to leave those alone. But these tracks, there's no need to have a fader just for those. So what I'm going to do is grab them all, right click and drag, and then find a good spot to split them. Then I'm going to drag all 4 of these up to where it combines them at the end of these tracks. Oh, and it looks like there's a little piece right there. So let's do this. Like I said, there's no need to have 4 faders for just some especially if he only does it one time on those tracks. So let's just get rid of those. That frees up on our mixer space. That just freed up 4 tracks. We could probably even free up even more. But let's do editing like we did on those guitar tracks to make sure there's no clicks or pops or background mic noise, people talking, shit like that. Always a bad idea. Like I said before, if you go right to left with Reaper, it pretty much, and split, it highlights what you need to get rid of. Makes it fast. For me, anyway. And when there's 2 together like these, you can tell are just double tracked. I'm probably going to pan one left, one right a little bit to give those little backing parts some stereo information. That way they're not in the center and it gets them out of the way of the other vocals. I know this part is boring. Trust me, I know. I do it a lot. But from some of the people I work with and for on Fiverr, all I do is their editing. Then I send it back and they supply the magic. Basically doing the grunt work for them. But it's taught me a shit ton. Obviously. On editing anyway. I'm not saying I'm good at anything except editing. I'm pretty fast and efficient with that without damaging the performance of the tracks. And apparently I group things very well. There's not a split there, is there? Some engineers don't group and color code, and I find that just madness. Like a topic on a tennis segment in my head. Today I sit far away. But I knew the middle in a place. And if I got torn. And from the video before, which there'll be a link to all the videos before, and there's a playlist of this, of me mixing this song. So this is the Joel Wanasek bus glue that I put on the vocals, and if you look at the track view, you can see the sins that we were talking about earlier. And I can show you my
I updated all my Slate stuff and all my Reaper stuff yesterday. So this is my quarter delay.
Like a coming on a steady segment in my head. Today I'm so far away.
And my verb and the saturation that we added to the vocals at the end of the last video. So that's all the vocals have on it is bus glue and then my personal stock effects that I use on every mix. So next I'm going to highlight all of these and add virtual mix rack to all of them. It gives it the SSL channel analog emulation that I have completely fallen in love with. And as you can see in Reaper, you can highlight all the tracks you want to add an effect to, right click on the effect and then add to selected, and it just added this mix rack to all of the vocals. Let's get a better place to start and loop these. How about right here?
Maybe gain this in every reflection of me. Maybe the rock are worse to me.
Those are good volumes. This track, they might have been a little bit rough on some of the recordings, but their gain staged, I didn't have to do anything to that.
Maybe gain this in every reflection of me.
So visually, I can tell that's going to be, I mean, sonically, I can hear that this dude's voice is going to be really high in the 1K 500 mid-range. So let's give it a look. I know you're not supposed to mix with your eyes, but man, it helps. And those dudes that are saying that are usually just trying to show off for other dudes that mix, like, I don't use my eyes. I don't use my, yeah, you do. And like I said, it's heavy in the 500.
This in every reflection of this.
And there's a lot of room noise in there. What I'm going to do is cut out all these lows at about 80. And it's not that I'm cutting out anything audible, I'll show you. That's what I'm cutting out. Yeah, you don't want that in your vocal anyway. I'm also going to give this a little bit of a low cut shelf just to cut out more of that room noise.
This in every reflection of this in every reflection.
And he really doesn't have much highs, so I'm going to give him a boost.
This in every reflection of.
I just got to watch out for his S's on that.
This in every reflection of.
I think I'm going to give it cut at around 2 to 4K just for those S's.
This in every reflection.
Let's try to find that ugly. There's an ugly tone in there somewhere. This is why I like Infinity EQ. You can give it a good boost and then solo it.
This in every reflection of.
Yeah, that's bad.
This in every reflection of. This in every reflection of.
So we're just gonna get rid of some of that, as we don't need it.
This in every reflection of. This in every reflection of.
And just a little bit of a cut there.
This in every reflection of.
I can take care of that, the S's. Sorry, I got these backwards. I always do my subtractive EQ first, and then go into my virtual mix rack.
This in every reflection of.
And you're wanting to hit around 0, which I'm going to compress this also.
This in every reflection.
This came out yesterday, or day before yesterday, I believe. This is why I love Slate. Everything that they release, you get it instantly for free. That's well, you pay your sub, but this de-esser just came out and it's fucking awesome. If you have Slate, you haven't used this yet, check it out.
My vacation is never a reflection of.
It's basically a dynamic EQ that's only compressing the frequencies that you set it on. I've already kind of gave a cut at 2, so I'm going to try it at 4.
My vacation is never a reflection of.
Yeah, I like that.
My vacation is never a.
Maybe, let's try it on the 8 and see what it does.
My vacation is never a reflection of. My vacation is never a reflection of. My vacation is never a reflection of.
It's not really getting much there. Tried it back.
My vacation is never a reflection of. My vacation is never a reflection of.
It's pretty good. And then, of course, what nearly everyone uses on their vocals, the LA2A sound.
My vacation is never a reflection of. My vacation is never a reflection of.
Definitely better than it was. Let's hear it in the mix without its brethren, so you can really hear what it does.
My vacation is never a reflection of me.
Okay, let's hear it without my effects.
My vacation is never a reflection of me.
Hear it with.
My vacation is never a reflection of me. My vacation is never a reflection of me. My vacation is never a reflection of me. My vacation.
Just most of his vocals are gonna basically sound the same. It sounds like it. I mean, it's pretty much his style. So I'm gonna move this Infinity EQ to the bus and remove it from the track, and then drag this guy with the LA2A and everything that I put on that first vocal, just drag them all over, because we've hit our 10-minute mark. Thought I'd get more done, but I did cut this down to, what, 7 vocal takes now?
My vacation is never a reflection of me. Maybe the right chord was to me.
Before we go, I'm going to look at the pan on these guys. Alright, here's this couple. This nice couple. They're here. It's very wholesome. I'm going to pan those left and right 30 each, just to get them out of the mono field and into the stereo, into the playing field, and out of the way of the other vocals, kind of. Gives them their own little spot to live. And it gives it just a wider feel. Let's hear that in the mix. Yeah. I would imagine these would do about the same, but we're not going to pan them to the same spot. They need their own spot to live. Don't want you. This nice couple here. On the high stuff like that, I like to pan it a little bit wider. But on vocals, I never pan anything past 50, because above 50, and you're hitting where my guitars and overheads and everything else is going to hit. So on my backing vocals, it's 50 and below, but that's just how I do stuff. Huh, I'm noticing something. This one right here. this one have the same tone.
You know,
Sorry, not that one.
I'm broken.
So I'm going to move them over, pretty much.
I'm broken. It's impossible to shine forever. I think about it over and over.
See how we have that panned out there? It really gives it some just life. It's like a lovely choir. I could probably pan these two out a little bit too, just to give them, they're at an off time from the other ones, so I'm going to put those at 40. That way everyone's got their own spot. We got 30, 50, and 40. I'm going to put that 50 right back where it was, just because I'm a fucking control freak. Solos, I treat solos like a vocal performance. It has its own processing, its own thing. And plus, we're still plenty of room on headroom and nothing on the master bus. So when I come back, I'm going to work on that lead and the master bus. Keep watching, man. You guys are fucking awesome.